It was a quiet afternoon on June 13, 2025. The sun was out. It seemed like just another peaceful day until a loud bang broke the silence. In just a few minutes, a mother and a little girl lay still inside their home, gone forever. Welcome to this heartbreaking story. If you're watching this right now, please take a second to subscribe to this channel. We tell real-life stories that matter. Stories that remind us to protect each other, to pay attention, and sometimes to simply care more. Hit that subscribe button and stay with us till the end. It was around 2:48 p.m. when officers from the DeKalb County Police Department received a distress call. The location: Forest at Columbia Apartments on Columbia Drive in Georgia. Neighbors had heard gunshots. Multiple ones. Some were already outside, scared, peeking from behind cars. Others stayed frozen behind their doors, holding their kids close. When police arrived, they found two people shot. One was 29-year-old Tomekia Pullins, a young woman known for her strength and her deep love for her family. The other was her 7-year-old niece, little Dior Scott, a bright, cheerful child who just wanted to spend the day with her auntie. Neither of them survived. The scene was heavy. Too quiet. It wasn't just the sound of gunshots that scared people. It was the feeling of loss all at once. At first, people didn't understand. But then, a name came up. William Almond. He was 48 years old. Tomekia's estranged husband. And Dior's uncle. They used to live together. Now he was the main suspect. Police say William didn't knock. He didn't call ahead, instead he broke a window to get inside. Then with a weapon in hand he fired more than once. At close range. In a home where a child was present. In a home that once was his too. It all happened so fast. There was no time for anyone to run, shout, or call for help. This wasn't an accident. It wasn't confusion. It was clear. Someone made a decision. And 2 lives were lost because of it. William Almond was gone by the time police arrived. But the damage was done. Tomekia wasn't just a name in the news. She was a worker, a sister, an aunt, and a friend. She worked as a security officer. She wore her uniform with pride. Her job wasn't just about standing guard, it was about protecting others. She took it seriously. She knew what it meant to watch over people, to make sure they felt safe. That's the kind of person she was. But when she wasn't at work, Tomekia was home with her family. She was especially close to her little niece, Dior. People who knew her say she treated Dior like her own child. She bought her clothes, helped with schoolwork, and made her laugh when she was sad. They were inseparable. She was also a sister, always checking in on her siblings, offering help when they needed it. Tomekia was the kind of person who answered the phone, no matter how tired she was. But there was one part of her life that wasn't as bright. Her marriage. She was married to William Almond. On the surface things looked fine. On social media they smiled for pictures. There were sweet posts, cute emojis, short videos, just like any other couple. To people watching online they seemed happy. But behind those smiles, things were falling apart. Family members say Tomekia had been dealing with serious problems in that relationship. She tried to stay. She tried to fix things. But the arguments kept coming. The threats got worse. And after a while she knew something wasn't right. It wasn't just normal relationship problems. She was afraid. And she had every reason to be. She told people close to her what was happening. She made reports. She wanted to leave, but that's never easy. Especially when the person causing harm is someone you once loved. Someone you trusted. Sometimes when people are hurting behind closed doors, they hide it. They post nice pictures. They pretend things are okay because they're scared of what will happen if the truth gets out. That was Tomekia's world. On the outside, a smiling couple. On the inside, pain she didn't deserve. By the time June 13, 2025 came around, Tomekia had already tried more than once to escape the fear she was living with. She wasn't silent. She wasn't passive. She asked for help. She filed reports. People close to her say she wanted to walk away from William Almond for good. But as many survivors know, leaving isn't always safe. In fact, it's often the most dangerous time. One moment stands out. It happened just 1 week before the shooting on June 6th. That day, Tomekia told someone that William had pointed a gun at her head. A man she had once married. A man she had once trusted. She was scared. And she told the right people. Police were notified. But even with that report, even with her speaking up, there was no restraining order in place. No protective barrier between her and the man she feared. It's not that she didn't try. She did everything victims are told to do. She spoke out, she made a report, she warned her family. Still, it wasn't enough. A week later she was gone. Some neighbors remember the threats too. One said William had warned that if Tomekia didn't come back to him, he'd hurt everyone in that house. That wasn't a figure of speech. That was a real warning. And yet nothing stopped him. It's one of the hardest parts of this story. Not just the loss but the fact that it could have been prevented. This wasn't sudden. It didn't happen without warning. It happened because the warnings weren't taken seriously. Now 2 lives are gone. And a family is left with the question, why didn't the system protect her? When news of Tomekia and Dior's deaths spread, it wasn't just a family that broke down, it was a whole community. People brought flowers. They released balloons into the sky, writing notes filled with pain, love, and unanswered questions. But the loudest voice that day came from her father, Tomekia Pullins. He said what many were thinking. My daughter tried to get help. She did what she was supposed to do. But nobody listened. Now she's gone. He didn't say it out of anger. He said it out of heartbreak. Because a week before his daughter was killed, she had gone to the police. She told them she was afraid. She reported what happened. She gave them a chance to step in. But nothing changed. And now, all he has are memories and a deep, permanent hole in his heart. Shortly after the shooting, police found and arrested William Almond. He didn't get far. Now he faces charges for malice murder and making violent threats. But that won't bring Tomekia back. And it won't give Dior a future. This story reminds us of something important. Red flags matter. Warnings matter. And silence can be deadly. Tomekia's life didn't have to end this way. Her niece didn't deserve this. Nobody does. And while we can't rewrite the ending, we can make sure their story is not forgotten. If this story touched you even a little, please take one small step. Subscribe to this channel. We share real stories that need to be told. Stories that can save lives. And if someone you know is hurting, check on them. Listen to them and believe them. Domestic violence doesn't always start with what you see on the outside. Sometimes it begins with words, with fear, with silence. And if it's ignored, it can grow into something that takes lives, just like it did with Tomekia Pullins and her 7-year-old niece, Dior Scott. Let Tomekia and Dior's story be more than a tragedy. Let it be a turning point. Remember to share this video with someone who needs to hear this story. Let's bring more awareness. Let's speak up for those who feel unheard. Let's make sure no one suffers in silence. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay aware, and stay kind.